Welcome back to 100 Days of 6-Minute Stories. My name is Andrea Kwamia. So a year ago today, I was sitting in Brooklyn, New York, in my Bushwick apartment with my twin sister, checking into my flight to officially move to LA. The year has gone by extremely quickly, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. Not necessarily move to Los Angeles, but move back to California. I've been planning this move since I was probably 19, but over the course of a decade, your intentions and your objectives and your whole personality changes, which means that your expectations for reaching your objective has to shift along with it. You usually don't realize that until you've kind of made it to your destination. I just remember coming to Los Angeles with such a huge level of excitement. My family had recently gone through a very difficult trauma last January, and when I got this opportunity to move here in May, I just felt like it was an answer to a lot of things I was looking for. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence, devoid of having a persona where if I show up to certain situations, I seem very calm and bubbly, but when I went home, I felt very confused and empty. So for some reason, I had this idea, this impression that moving to California, where growing up I had the happiest memories, really only until 6 years old, that I would feel more whole, opposed to New York, where even though I have a million beautiful memories, so much of it is marred and tainted with really difficult things that I had to overcome. I remember when I moved here, I live in the Miracle Mile area, so I'm walking distance from the LACMA, from the Grove, very central to Los Angeles, and I would just walk everywhere. I am the only pedestrian in Los Angeles. I like to say I don't drive, and I would just walk from here to the Grove. I would walk to work every day, and I would walk to the park. I just wanted to see everything. The funny thing is, though, that because I still maintain this insecurity, that even though I was walking everywhere and trying to soak everything in, I can say without a doubt that I wasn't absorbing anything that I was looking at. I didn't notice the names of the shops, the street names. I just knew that I made it somewhere and I was somewhere new. The thing about LA, though, is that it's extremely difficult to make true connections. It's surprisingly difficult to initially be who you are without apology. The example I'll give is that I'm clearly an anime fan, and I remember at my job when I was being introduced to clients, we had to write a little bio about ourselves to be sent to the client, and my director, I feel like my director felt embarrassed that I had anime as one of my interests listed in, so he told me that he was going to strip it out and told me to make sure that I was okay with it. Obviously I wasn't going to say no, and I made a little joke about it. But looking back now, I'm wondering, why is such a small thing that probably maybe our clients didn't even read my bio? Why do I have to strip that small piece of my identity that I felt was important enough to put in a small bio along all of the other things that I love? Why was it important enough to strip it out? Because it made them feel uncomfortable. It wasn't cool enough for them. and they thought that it wouldn't be received and wouldn't be reflected well on them. That is something that I've had to learn about living in Los Angeles. 10 years from when I had set a goal for myself, from 19 to now, I had achieved it, but in the 10 years I had developed a whole world, a whole network on the East Coast, when my eyes were burning very clearly to go to the West Coast, where I had no friends, where I had no network, where I didn't know how to unapologetically be me. Luckily, if anything, having to spend time with yourself, the lack of exposure to other opinions, and needing to check in with friends and family for advice really forces you to look at yourself and to consider, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? How do you look at yourself when you see yourself in the mirror every time you wake up? Los Angeles is a place that I am so happy to be, because it shed a light on all the prismatic aspects of who I am. I can't say that I have the fond sense of home that I do with my friends in New York, but I know that at least for what I need right now, it's a place that I intend to grow. Thanks for listening, guys. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.